Hey guys, yes. Welcome to London Lit YouTube channel. Welcome if you're new and welcome if you're not. So today we're talking about TD Jakes. TD Jakes is a pastor of a major mega church, so you guys may know of him. There was allegations about him, and the allegations are that he's linked to P. Diddy. He is allegedly been at many of P. Diddy's sex parties and participated in many sexual assaults. Now, of course, he's denying this, and you'll know if you've watched some of my old videos. I had talked about, how some of these, pastors in the churches are not what they look like. How a lot of these churches are packed with people who are doing horrendous things and, using, God has, almost using God as a cover, because people are out here thinking these people are holier than ever, and some of them are committing the most horrendous crimes. Now, TD Jakes seems to, allegedly be participating in these parties and has attended parties hosted by P. Diddy. Now, just take a minute and think about this. What is a pastor doing at sex parties that P. Diddy is hosting? Why is he there? Now, he could have came out and said, I'm here. I was at those parties. I was at those parties because I was there to, tell these people, stop. Don't sin. Don't sin. But no, why would TD Jakes be at these parties? So he's not been there, trying to get people to stop sinning. He's not been there trying to, help P. Diddy, who, is clearly doing some horrendous things if the accusations are against him are true. No. So the only reason TD Jakes could possibly be at these parties is because he is also participating in these sins. Now, I've heard of some low-down, dirty pastors in my time, some absolutely disgusting pastors, ones who have impregnated their congregation, ones who have, took so much money from the congregation, rinsed them, seen their people on the floor with no money, been driving Benzes, all sorts of luxury vehicles, living it up like a king, being seen as somebody so special, were absolutely taking advantage of people. And remember, some people join these churches at their most vulnerable times. I've heard of pastors who have done things such as rape, child molestation, ignored people doing these things in their facilities, beaten people, as I said, impregnated the whole congregation, cheated numerous times on their wives, stolen money, stolen offerings, done some horrendous things, and done them, under the name of God, and, gone on to say they're holy. I've seen pastors who have told the whole church they have to sleep with them. Every woman in the church needs to sleep with them. And they have told people it is God's will, and God told them that these women have to sleep with them. So am I shocked to see a fake pastor? Absolutely not. I've seen many in my time. I've seen many profiting, under the name of God, while being some of the most evil, horrendous, shocking, disgusting people. Now, what really got to me with Pastor TD Jakes, what's really got to me with him, is the fact that, and he's not the only pastor, and I would like to say he's not the only person who goes to church that thinks this, but what really got to me is the fact that he feels like, even if he had committed these crimes, he would be good. Why? Because he thinks he will have the forgiveness of God. And don't think this is just coming from me. This man has quoted this. He said, the worst that could happen if everything was true, all I got to do is repent sincerely from my heart, he said. There's enough power in the blood to cover all kinds of sins. I don't care what it is. The blood will fix it. But I ain't got to repent about this. So although he said he don't have to repent about this because he didn't do it, the fact that he actually thinks that all he would have to do if he has been sexually assaulting, raping women, and doing all sorts of horrendous things, because these are some of the things Pastor TD Jakes is accused of, he thinks all he has to do is go down on his knees and repent from his heart. And that is a problem with some people who attend the church. They think that, they can do any sin and it's all good as long as they bust a prayer. And, let me show you this woman who, a lot of you guys may know, some of you may not know, are fabulous. Watch what she has to quote, because she is a woman who is also accused of, doing things that would be seen as crimes actually, but also be seen as sins. And she's another woman who consistently, goes on her knees, talks about God, sings gospel songs, claims, she's holier than, and then sits there and commits many sins, talks about them, allegedly been doing fraud against many people, and you know, she is also running off this thing, just like TJ Jake. Like, what's the worst could happen if everything's true? All I'm gonna do is repent from my heart, and that's enough. Power in the blood to cover all kinds of sins. So let me just show you a bit of what our Fabulous had to say.
God bless TD Jakes. I really hope he's doing okay, because he's still a pastor at the end of the day, you know. He preaches about forgiveness.
Now, while people like our Fabulous are more worried about the alleged sinner, let's worry about the victims. Let's be worrying about the victims who have been at P. Diddy's parties and have been taken advantage of. Let's worry about the victims who have been raped, trafficked, are underage, are being forced to participate in these parties. She would have sat here and heard what happened to Cassie the singer and many numerous other people who, you know, allegedly have been, you know, assaulted, attacked, raped, trafficked by P. Diddy. The allegations against P. Diddy are absolutely disgusting. You know, they are disgusting, and there's many alleged victims, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to worry about the people who have actually been victims and who have been at these parties and have had to, you know, endure some horrendous things. That's what we're going to worry about. Now, you know, let me just choose the right words for this, okay? Because I really want to talk about this some more. What really upsets me about this thing is people like, you know, TD Jakes, people like are Fabulous, people who, you know, are out here, you know, sinning and, you know, using God to, you know, cover up their sins. You know, they take away a lot from people. Guys, just think about this for a minute, yeah? They take away a lot from people. Because you know what they take away from people? They take away from people, you know, they take God away from people. That's what people like this do. Just think about this. Pastors, fake people who, you know, are in these churches, you know, they take God away from people and they claim to be such strong believers. Who is going to go to a church when they have, you know, experienced such horrendous things, you know, from church people? You know, as I told you a long time ago, I don't know if you've ever seen this video, but I talked about, you know, how, you know, there's churches, and in these churches, you know, they cover up all sorts of things, child abuse, all sorts of things that are going on in the church. And, you know, people like this mean that people will not be able to go to church, because who would want to go to church and put their safety at risk? Why would they want to? Who would believe after meeting these people who tell people, you know, they are, you know, holier than ever, and they see them doing horrendous things? Who is going to be able to really keep their faith strong? And, you know, I feel like, you know, to me, you know, these things are not just, you know, sins, as they would call them. These are crimes, okay? And at the end of the day, if a church is operating almost like, you know, almost like a criminal enterprise, why would anybody want to enter it? Why? Why would people go to this pastor for advice and this pastor has no morals? Why? Why would people go in their pocket and help this pastor buy himself a new Benz? Why? Why would they do that? This man is not following, you know, what he is, you know, preaching. He's not practicing what he's preaching. And the principle is, if he has done this, the fact that he thinks he can just, you know, go down on his knees and that's good enough, in my opinion, that is not good enough, because the problem with it, it's not, I feel like some people, they're taking advantage. Yeah, I said it. They're taking advantage, okay? The whole point is, if you commit a crime, and let's take it away from crime, let's say a sin. If you commit a sin and you commit a sin and, you know, you accidentally commit a sin and then, you know, you're sorry and then you pray, of course, people who believe, you know, in God believe they can be forgiven. But there is some people out here who have taken advantage of this and they think, okay, I'm going to do whatever I want knowingly, and then I'm just gonna say I'm sorry after, and you know, it's just not gonna cut it here. And there's only other people who, you know, work by this moral standard, i.e. are Fabulous, who actually, you know, think that's okay. You know, Katt Williams, he even has turned down, you know, invitations to Diddy's parties. You know, he said hell no, you know, he was not attending. He was going to protect his integrity and, you know, and his virgin hole. He was not going. So what is the pastor doing at these parties? And you've got to be thinking about it. If the pastor's at these parties Even to get an invite to the party. Why did Diddy think he was going to want to come, huh? Why did Diddy think TD Jakes was going to want to come to one of his parties? Why would he invite him? He wouldn't be inviting him if he wanted to be, you know, lecturing him on what's going on in the parties. So he can only be invited for one reason, and that could only be because, you know, he fits in. You know, he fits into this party scene that P. Diddy's got going on. Anyway, guys, as I said, be cautious where you church. Watch who you put on a pedestal. You know those around you, and don't assume nothing. Don't assume just because you see a man, you know, throwing around the holy book that he ain't doing nothing. Don't assume. He could be doing anything. You know, just don't put someone on a pedestal that high, especially when, you know, you don't know them personally. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys on another one.